New job, new life, stressed out about the job, didn't know what I was doing, and I couldn't go to sleep because my roommate was snoring. The third night I was sitting in the bunk, I freaked out. I was like crying and I was like banging on the metal wall.
How did you handle the roommate situation? Like, did you have a tough time? I
didn't have any roommates that were like, they didn't bathe or anything like that. I had this situation where like one of my first roommate snored like a freight train, and that was murder because I can't sleep when somebody's snoring. And like my first couple weeks I didn't have earplugs when I was trying to sleep, and so I couldn't fall asleep. And like my first week on the cruise ship, my very first week, so like I told you, new job, new life, stressed out about the job, didn't know what I was doing, and I couldn't go to sleep because my roommate was snoring. I was like the third night I was sitting in the bunk, the top bunk of course, and I freaked out. Like I was like crying and I was like banging on the metal wall. I was freaking out. I was like, why did I take this job? Like I was freaking out. Eventually that cruise ended and I got off the ship and I went to Target and I found earplugs and I put earplugs in. And they like saved my life. Like it was that bad. You can't do much when you're not sleeping. That was rough. The earplugs were crucial. So the snoring sucked. The guy who snored, he was the bass player in like the party band. He worked like 3 hours every other day or something stupid like that. But he was always in the room. That was the problem. Like not only do you not work as many hours, you're always in the room. So I never, on the few hours I have to not be at work, I can't go to the room just to find some alone time because you're there all the time.
And I feel like you're talking to me.
No. But like,
no, because that is me.
I did start to resent him kind of. But what I did though, instead of hate on him as much, I said, well, if he's in the room, I'm gonna go find somewhere else to go.
Are you interested in learning the 7 alarming things that cruise ship contracts are hiding in the fine print? Go to shiplifetv.com/contract secrets and find out for free. Because one of the biggest problems that I see with new hires is that they don't know what they're signing up for. And they show up on day one and they're expected to know everything that's in a 6-page legal contract. So go to shiplifetv.com/contract secrets to watch almost an hour's worth of free content where I break down a 6-page contract and you can learn everything that you need to about vacation, schedule, pay, overtime, benefits, and so much more. That's shiplifetv.com/contract secrets to become a member of the Shiplife TV community and get free access to the crew library. Now back to the video.
And ultimately, I would go to like crew bar and like during the day, nobody's in crew bar. So like I would just kick it and I'd watch TV on the wall and drink a coffee from the mess and it was fine, you know, and I had, you know, I was alone there, you know what I mean? But nothing beats your own privacy in your cabin, you know? And then I was envious of this one, I'm gonna say the word couple, but they were just roommates. They didn't know each other before they got on the ship. One guy was a dancer and one guy was in the youth staff. They hit it off so well. They like to go out, they like to drink, they like to party, they were both fun. And I was like, I've been on ships for 3 contracts. Why can't I get a roommate like that? You know what I'm saying? So I was really jealous. There was one guy that moved into my cabin the very last cruise on one of my ships, and he was like the coolest guy. And I was like, oh, I got to know him for 7 days. And then I had a roommate who his girlfriend like slept over all the damn time. My issues with roommates were not like really crazy dramatic ones. I felt that like I was trying, even now, like I try to be empathetic to people. I try to put myself in other people's shoes and be like, hey, am I doing something that can help them out or whatever? And I felt that a lot of people on ships, but you know, also in the real world too, they don't give as much empathy to you, you know? So a lot of them are like, it's my cabin, I'm just gonna kick it here. That's absolutely totally fine. But I mean, I was looking at that whenever I'd have a roommate who'd have a girl sleep over all the time, I'm just like, that girl's roommate has a room to herself. God, wouldn't that be nice? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why don't you guys go over there? Like, let me stay here by myself, you know? But then, you know, then on the other side of that, on my third ship, I was dating a girl who, she wasn't entitled to her own cabin, but she was tight with the entertainment administrator. So the entertainment administrator never gave her another roommate for like 8 weeks. So I would just go crash with her in her room. So we had that privacy. So you know what I'm saying? It can suck. It can be great. Sometimes it's hit or miss, you know? And so instead of like every time I'd walk into my cabin, seeing my roommate and being like, ugh, and then get up in the bed and slam the curtain, I would just be like, all right, I'm going to go to Crew Bar. You know, I'm going to go do something else. And ultimately that contract, I actually was like, I was very active with other people. I made a lot of friends that contract, almost because I had to, because I couldn't be alone in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because your roommate was always there.
He and I weren't that tight. Not because he was a musician, but because he was like a lot older, right?
Yeah.
And he was the kind of person that didn't want to do anything except lay in bed or get up and go play his set. You know what I'm saying? We weren't the same personality either. If I had a roommate that we our personalities worked really well together, then I could go into my cabin and we could hang out together. It wouldn't feel like that. But because we weren't like tight, it felt like I kind of felt I was imposing on him. You know what I mean?